Hey, welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways, Coyote in the Highlands. We are parked next to a post office right now. I did a video this morning and then it got eaten alive by my computer powering off halfway through the file transfer. I should remember to copy and then delete instead of doing move when I'm doing the file transfers, right? Anyway, not much to talk about. It was just, you know, a very windy morning. We got some sprinkles of rain. I ran around making sure all the tarps were right and thinking about the projects I have and the freedom I have and where I'm at with all of that. The outdoor kitchen, of course, needs to get finished really well, and that requires a little bit more financial input on the roofing. Everything has to be built really sturdy. So in a normal year, I would be able to put up some temporary stuff, some shade cloth, and have it last for a couple weeks and stuff. The wind has been extreme this spring, and it's cyclical. You know, everyone's going to be like, oh my God, climate crisis. Oh, climate catastrophe. Oh, climate global warming, cooling, ice age, hot desert planet death to everybody. It might be an El Nino cycle in the Pacific. I don't know. These things happen. Climate is what you expect, weather is what you get, and these things go through cycles. The reason 50-year storms happen or the reason they're called 50-year storms is that on average, they happen once every 50 years. 500-year events, stuff like that. And, you know, they do happen. These cycles happen. And, you know, this is looking like the early 1980s where we had some really freaky stuff happen out here, and it happens. But it would be really nice to be able to set up my temporary stuff and not have everything be windproof up to 50, 60 miles an hour just by default. I'm building really heavy and slowing me down some. And, you know, I have to get the weather to cooperate with my schedule long enough to get another 3 rows of cinder block up on the bathroom project, and then I can put real roofing on. You know, I have to have the cinder block, not be using the cinder block for another project. It's a long drive to take cinder block. I can only take 25 at a time. There's some complications. There is no delivery. You know, there's no way I'm going to get a couple pallets of block delivered. We've already been through that. And so I've got to work on that. And then the outdoor kitchen, which is supposed to be my main shade structure. There's an initial shade, and there's expansions to it, which should give me a really good workspace. If there's days where the wind dies down enough for me to do anything outside, and that's starting to become a little bit of a concern. Not anything outside, not like exercising or walking or working. Like, I can do all of that, but computer stuff, like the laptop. I'm used to being able to sit in a shady spot and use a laptop without having to hide myself in a closet. And right now we're into hide yourself in a closet and hope the air doesn't leak through from the windstorm. So that's kind of funny. So, you know, I've got these 2 projects I really need to work on. I really need to get them done, but I also need to windproof some of my life because I don't know, you know, it's going to take one time where the 50-mile-an-hour gusts turn into 60-mile-an-hour gusts, and something's going to happen. So I really need to work on that, and that's impacting me just a little bit, you know. My mood, my attitude. I want a simpler life, not a more complex life, and this is getting thrown at me right now in a I can't get the things done that I want to get done in the order I want to get done because I have to balance these things with repairs and emergencies, and that's just kind of a thing. You know, it's a little bit of a bitch. Yeah, just a little bit of a bitch. So I think I'm just going to start working on the earth bags for a round earth bag yurt sidewalls. And I'm just going to run with that for right now and see, you know, if I can get a dozen bags a day or 8 bags a day or 4 bags a day, just anything done. And then see what I end up doing with the roof because, you know, if you're doing it semi-permanent, then the cloth cover for the roof isn't normally the way you would go. So I got to figure out what I'm doing with that. and also some insulation. So I might, you know, if I want to keep it yurt-like, I can do, you know, I can take the standard tonneau, that's the circle part on the top, and the poles, and have the tension thing, and that works really well. And I can just cover it with Reflectix and then a industrial fabric like Pacific Domes, Pacific Yurts uses. I don't know. That's complicated. We'll see how that goes too. I've seen it done in concrete. Actually, I've seen the roofs done in concrete, so that's kind of an odd one, but it is actually possible, so I don't know what I'm doing yet. That's it. You know, this is the post office errand, which is just a required errand, and why not? The winds are sitting at 30 miles an hour again. I'm not getting a whole lot done today. I've done a lot of concrete work reinforcing the outdoor kitchen, but I have to move to work up top. I'm going to have to be working with large pieces of surface area materials like 4x8 or roofing panels or something, and I need to do that single-handedly because I am alone on most of these projects. And I have to do that in this wind. It's not going to happen very well. I might be able to do it, I might not. So we'll see how it goes. You know, I'm just feeling a little tied up with that. You know, and in one sense, it's possible I should have just finished the kitchen before I started finished the bathroom before I started the kitchen. But I really needed the kitchen to work, so I was already putting the effort into doing the temporary kitchen, so I just switched over. So, you know, interesting. I'll get some pictures, a little bit of video of the original kitchen wall, the temporary one, because it's a really nice dry stack. And then I can pull that, and that's enough cinder block for one row on the outdoor, on the bathroom, and we'll see where I go from there. That's about it. Whew. Busy day. So the notes for homesteading on this is maybe you should think about what level of finish work on a certain project you need to do before you do the next project and get it started. Because I think I bumped myself in the butt on that one just a little bit. Bathroom just isn't quite tall enough for me to slant a roof on there yet. I need to get it just a little bit higher. 16 inches would probably do. 24 inches is going to be higher, is going to be better, so probably 3 rows of cinder block. That's the mortared cinder block, which is what you need for the high walls like that, the way I'm doing this one. But yeah, it's a little bit more complicated, I guess. A little more time consuming to set up. You know, I have to be ready for the job, and I have to have the weather for the job. And right now, it's actually a little hard. So that's it. We'll talk to you soon. Stay sideways.